Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome a very senior and accomplished professional from India, Mr. Samir Malhotra. Samir, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Master. Thank you, the brand called you. I'm very delighted and happy to be part of the show.
Thank you. Samir is the Chief Executive Officer of Shriram Automall India Private Limited, and I'm sure all of you have heard of this organization. It is the most trusted brand for the exchange of pre-owned automotive equipment and gold and property. Samir has been recognized, awarded, and felicitated several times. So, Samir, let's start talking about Shriram Automall. I think it's been, most people would have heard of the organization. But tell me about this venture and what went behind the thinking to start it.
It's very interesting. I'm talking about 15 years back when we started talking about and thinking about this concept. We found the whole country is completely unorganized and the trading of pre-owned is completely getting unorganized, and there is no organized player in the whole country. And the transactions which were happening, they were not transparent. Nobody knew, neither the buyer nor the seller, whether they got the best deal out of it. Looking into that, we thought that India needed transparent and platform which is organized. And being a vast country where pre-owned automobile transactions were at a very nascent stage, even now, even with our 10 years of about 10 years of our existence, we still feel there is a lot to be done.
Correct.
So that was still the starting at the beginning that we found that India needs the services like this, and internationally, globally, these services are there already. And that's where we started, and we started with the foundation of starting for the banks and NBFCs to take care of their repossessed stock. But very soon we realized that that's not the whole world. That's only part of the problem which we are providing a solution. The problem is much bigger. Okay. Whole country needs a solution, and that's where the foundation of Shriram Automall 11 years back, we started our first Automall in Chennai on 26 February 2011.
Wow. And, when I was reading about you, I was fascinated. You started in 2011 when nobody had even thought of something. What is your secret sauce that you've become so big and, nationwide?
I think we always thought we should be getting connected with the customer. We need to go near to the customer. So besides the definitely metropolitan cities always has a much bigger volume for any of the businesses, we parallelly gone into tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and which made us much more nearer to the customer. Now we are in over 100 cities, and we keep on expanding every year, adding up more and more cities. And we gone near to the customers looking for these services. That exactly made us different from any other.
Fascinating. Samir, how large is the market for pre-owned cars in our country?
I can easily say it's as big as the new vehicle market, which is quite big as of date. All of us knows it's a multi-billion-dollar. We are looking into $20 to $30 billion market size right now, which is for pre-owned also is available, and everybody's trying their bit in this, but it's a long way to go, and especially the organized players, our only competition is with the unorganized market which is there. So I think next 10 years also there will be, or next 20 years also there will be nobody can stop the growth of this market.
Absolutely true. So before I get into more details about Shriram Automall, what have been some of your challenges and learnings as you have scaled up from your first store to over 100 stores?
Yeah, it's been always, I think the biggest challenge for us was always been a manpower of the people, because the industry being non-existent, you can't get a trained manpower from anywhere. If you're not getting a trained manpower, it means you have to keep on training the people, keep on making them up to a level, make them understand the concept. So first was the concept selling, which was a very bigger task, because when you go to any customer, whether it's a buyer or seller, and trying to sell him a concept of auction, come to the auction platform and you will get a best of the market prices. And to make the concept goes into deep down into their mindset was the first thing. And then people who go and talk to them was the second thing. I think these two are the major challenges for us, which we still feel going to continue for all our existence. This is going to be always be the challenge.
Fascinating.
There could be other small things, could be IT, could be technology, but I think they are all still can be doable things. But these two are the major ones.
Amazing. So, one of the things that I have seen myself when I wanted to sell a car, and I've read about a lot of this, that there is always this little uncertainty in the minds of the buyer and the seller. Am I getting the right product? Am I getting a good deal? I would like to get your thoughts on how do you manage expectations for buyer and seller?
I think that's the whole thing. What is all about our platform is we bring a very transparent services to everyone. So we bring from seller, we bring his vehicle to our platform, which is a physical platform, which is again very unique. On the physical platform, people come and we do a ramp method of selling, which means the vehicle is ramping, like you have said, the catwalk of the fashion show. Same way we do the ramp walk of our automobile on the ramp, and the vehicle people are sitting there. They can inspect it before that, and then the hall is full of different people, and they start bidding. Whoever pays us the highest price, he becomes the winner. So that's become a very transparent platform where vehicle is transparently shown to the buyer.
Yeah.
And there is a competition available for everyone. And that's why the best price comes, which is very transparent for the seller. So we bring a transparent platform for both buyer and seller to reach to a logical and the right price for their vehicle.
Amazing. I had never ever heard of a ramp walk for vehicles. Thank you for telling me about it. Fascinating. And do you also you must have got a big team of technicians who evaluate a car properly. But how are you competing with the pre-owned cars that the brand owners themselves have started selling?
So there are a couple of things. One is we are not only in cars, we do trucks, we do construction equipment, we do two-wheeler, three-wheeler buses and tractors. So we are into anything which runs on wheel. We are there for that.
Okay, I stand correct.
Second is, I agree. I think there's a lot to be done, and the difference between us and others is we allow people to check and inspect before bidding. We sell everything as is, where is basis. There is no warranties or guarantees available. However, our technical team goes through every vehicle. We give in our catalog one before the auction. We give to every single buyer. We have a complete book which has the full details of every vehicle, which includes the basic details about the health of that vehicle. But they are also allowed to check it before the auction, and that's where they bring their own technicians to be much more transparent and check it. We have our own team, but parallelly we allow them to bring their own technician to recheck before buying. So that bring more confidence to all the buyers.
Wonderful. There is also a lot of technology that is now being used by various people, through an app and through, for evaluation and so on. How are you using technology to sell cars?
We always are ahead of the game. Most of the time, we feel that.
I'm sure.
When we started physical auction, that was a very, very unknown concept in the country. And we keep on improving on those physical auctions as a platform. We then introduced the concept of online auction, which is purely online auction, where you can only bid online and you can sitting in your home, you can bid online. That was again, we are the largest player in the country right now. And then we introduced a digital auction, which is very unique, which has recently been introduced. Now we are almost over 85 cities we are providing these services, where physically auctions are happening, but sitting at your office or in your home, wherever you are, you can start bidding on that at that place, because digitally you can watch what is physically is happening. We call it digital. So there's a live cast of auction is happening, and sitting in your home, you can start bidding on your computer by watching the auction on your computer live, and you can also be competing with the people sitting in the yard and you're sitting at your home. Both the best of both worlds are competing with each other. That's called digital auction, and we introduced that technology recently, and we are finding our customers are very happy, especially during COVID era. They were not being able to move out of the home and others. That they found it very, very interesting for them to bid and get the best vehicle for their needs.
So the other question that I have, between your ramp walk and the phygital auction, how do you bring transparency for the buyer and the seller?
So it's become more transparent now because now seller has the much bigger world. Besides the people sitting in the yard, now he has the whole country to bid on that vehicle in case anybody needs that vehicle. So now he has a buyer not only restricted to that place, so that becomes much bigger transparency for him.
Right.
Same for buyers now. In case he wants that vehicle and he cannot go to the yard because of any reason, it could be he's not been able to travel, he's stuck up, he has another meeting, or due to any reason, but he wants that vehicle. So now that option or possibility to bid on that vehicle is available to the person, to that bidder, and he can bid sitting at his home. So that's become again more transparency for the buyers also.
Amazing. And do you, if I have a truck to sell, do you buy it from me or do you stock it till someone buys it?
We feel we are a service provider, and that's where your foundation of all the business will be made. You always feel once you're buying, your intentions are to buy at the cheapest, and you have to sell it at the highest price, or that's where you make your margins and money. Here with us, it's very different. We say we don't want you to sell it cheaper. Also, to the buyer, we don't feel he should buy it very expensive at a wrong mistake. So we charge the service charges to both the sides and see what is the best price available to both of them transparently. And both seller gets a full price and buyers buys at the right price for the seller. We only charge our service fees from both the sides.
Wow. That's a very different model from what some other companies are also now. Then some of the new startups are doing, where they're actually investing their own money and taking stock on their books.
Right. So different. We don't do that.
Very, very sensible. My next question, Samir, is on government policy. The, in the National Capital Region, there is a restriction on the life of the car. In several other states, I think this is being considered. What will restricting the life of the car do to the pre-owned market?
Typically, I think the life of these vehicles are quite good because of especially the kind of manufacturing technologies being used presently. The things are brand technology is improving every time. We are seeing Euro 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Emission norms are coming. So with that, the life of the vehicles are getting better and better. Nonetheless, there is a pollution control policies by different states, especially NCR. There is a 15 years policy. There is a 10 years policy. So people are selling within that, and there are people who are ready to buy from a different smaller towns who don't have that kind of a policy in place. So they come and buy those vehicles, and still the vehicle life is there. There is a national asset has been created out of that, and that use of the national asset has to happen by different hands. And those people also cannot afford the new vehicle. So for them, affordability is an issue. Even suppose let's assume there is a three-wheeler, which is a commercial three-wheeler. If you buy a new one versus the person who buys in the village, his cartage what is charging, the per passenger cost is charging will be lower. So village people will not be able to afford the price, the kind of price that three-wheeler driver will charge. Comparative to if he buying a used one, he can be affordable. That's one. Second is we saw recently the scrappage policy, so that's becoming going to be the norm of the day, going to be the future. So that will again help the more faster disposal and much more organized way to dispose the vehicle which are absolute and they cannot be used. We are seeing there was a crisis semiconductor and all that's also creating the supply chain gaps. Right now there is a lesser supply than the demand, and with the technology improving, with the new things, especially when the EV is coming, the things are again changing in a very different direction. So there are different technological advancements happening in the industry, in the new industry. Automatically, all those things will come into the used vehicle industry also. So it's not that the used vehicle industry will remain behind from the technological advancement which are happening in the vehicle industry or automobile industry. Automatically, same vehicle which is technological advanced will be coming in the used in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to sell. So they are already been advanced vehicles as compared to 10 years old vehicles. So technological advancements will continue to happen in the used vehicle pre-owned automobile industry also.
Fascinating. Samir, you've also expanded beyond autos, to equipment, gold, and property. tell me when you did this and what was your logic?
So equipment we still feel is a part and parcel of automobile because they still run on wheel or on the chain or the so they're still part of it. But definitely gold and property slightly different horizons and verticals which we entered in the last couple of years. It's mainly because of need of our sellers. So we have the similar sellers, especially bank finance industry, which is have a lot of repository stocks available with them. So they have need to sell, dispose of the gold which is available or properties which are available to them. So they are looking for a service provider, and for us, they are already a customer. They are using us for their automobile disposal needs. So we just extended our needs to the same seller, and we looked into their needs and extended our services for the needs of those sellers into new verticals without adding up any much more on the acquisition cost of the seller. Is very, very less for us because of the same, but we have to just add up the different type of buyers which we are working right now.
Very interesting. But let's talk a little bit about gold and property. There, the products are very different. The buyers and sellers are very different. How did you, as an auto mall, move into these completely different areas?
These are basically digital solutions. So for us, we don't have to bring property, we can't move it, it's immovable.
Correct.
Same way we don't have to shift the gold. So they're all digital solution where the asset is still lying in the possession of the seller. And basically they are all banks and NBFCs, and we are digitally providing the marketplace where buyers from different places are coming and bidding on that. And whosoever is the highest bidder, that takes away that asset in the bidding platform, and then later on they take the delivery from the take the possession or delivery from the seller, whosoever it is.
Very interesting. Any plans to go beyond India?
We always deliberate, and we also found a lot of opportunities in the past. But the point is, there's so much to be done within the country. We are not even acquired. We are not completed the work which we were supposed to do here. We only on 120, 130 cities. We are yet to go to 500 cities, and then there's so much to be done. The market share is still smaller. Even if we are the largest player in the country, our market share is still small because there's so much unorganized spaces there. So I think we are concentrating. Right now, our concentration is fully within the country. And the day we feel we've done enough here, then we'll be looking for something more to be done outside.
Very interesting. And how do you communicate to potential buyers and potential sellers that Shriram Automall is the place to come to?
So we have a different team who takes care of supply and who takes care of demand. So supply team is very different. They are more corporate. They go outside. They meet the different corporate customers of banks, NBFCs, OEMs, dealerships, all those players, and we try to make them understand how they can be selling it better and faster for the assets what they're owning, and that's what our supply team does. And same way our demand team goes into different markets, marketplaces, Mondays, transport nagars. So there could be different buyers for different vehicles sitting at different places. So they go and meet there. We are not very aggressive into consumer business. We more into B2B. So that's where we concentrate, and that's a very big market right now. So we keep on adding up more buyers and buyers and buyers. And once you become buyer with us or a bidder with us, you become perpetually with us for long. So we have more than 18 lakhs customers already who utilize our services, and they're coming back again and again to us.
Fantastic. And any plans to get into the car segment, which is also very big?
Which one, sir?
Car segment.
Car. Car, we are already there. As I said, car is one of the large segment. We do our 35% above business is cars. So, so we do cars, we do trucks, we do two-wheeler, three-wheeler, tractors, and equipment all. So car is almost more than 35% of our business.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I've got time for just one more question, and this is for the many people who will listen to our conversation. Based on your amazing journey and having built such an incredible organization which is nationwide, what would your advice be to a young individual who's starting off on her or his journey as a manager or as an entrepreneur?
I I must say, please follow your passion. Never take your job as a job, even if you're in a job or you're a startup.
Yeah.
Always feel connected with the things what is given to you. Even if it's a job, don't take it as a job, take it as a passion.
Correct.
Feel you are a part of the startup system. Forget about I'm just limited to my salary, my working hours and all. If you're thinking beyond it, the success will be yours. Second, never compromise on the integrity. The short term you might gain something, but if you're doing something which is very short term uses and you are compromising on your systems, on your values, you will not gain in the long run, you'll be losing in the long run.
Well said.
Third, always respect your company and boss. I think I always followed that throughout my career.
Yeah.
Always respect them, always feel great about them. Never see bad words, should not listen bad words, should not say bad words about your company and your bosses. I think perpetually you will win on that. And the last, live with the relationships. Every customer will not give you the business. Make a relationship. Whenever he needs a business, he will come back to you. So these are the 4 fundamental things I would like
Fantastic.
to pass on to everyone.
Fantastic. Sameer, on that note and your 4 amazing points, follow your passion, never compromise on your integrity, respect the company and the boss, and always respect relationships with the customer. Thank you so much for speaking to me. Thank you for talking to me about your amazing journey building Shriram Automall into India's biggest player. I wish and pray that you will continue to grow at the same pace, and we will see you in every city of this country. Thank you again for speaking to me.
Thank you, Ashwin. Thank you, the brand called you. I'm very happy to be part of this.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.